at Lavender Hall Fishery. Now what a beautiful little lake this is. It's only around 2 acres in size. It feels really sort of nice and mature and quite cosy down here. But on the outskirts it feels like really urban. You've got like a railway line that just kind of links areas, you know, just close, in the close vicinity, not like a cross country train or anything like that. And then behind me there's a load of sort of diggers and stuff like that. Thankfully they're not working on a weekend. But yeah, it's really got really nice feel down around the lake. But on the outskirts it's yeah, quite rough and ready. So I quite like that, growing up on park lakes and stuff like that. So it's got that sort of vibe to it. But yeah, I am in peg number 3. I've booked that through the Go Catch app. I've never visited this lake before. It was recently redug. Just over a year or so ago, and they've put what I believe to be around 30 fish in here. So there's not masses of fish to go at. It's one of them where you've got to sort of set your traps and sit on them and try and outwit these carp in here. Now I say there's only 30 fish in there, but I believe over 50% of that stock are 20 pound plus fish, and I don't think they've spawned yet either. So fingers crossed they don't spawn while I'm here. But secondly, they'd probably be at their top weights as well. So yeah, let's hope that I can sit one of them in front of the camera for you and show you exactly what resides in here. But yeah, I've got a bit of water to play with, a couple of islands, that sort of thing. But I'm really looking forward to getting going. I've just made the very short barrow journey with that lot down from the car park, which isn't very far at all, 100 meters, 200 meters tops. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some rods sorted and sliding them out on the bushwhacker, keeping everything low key. There's quite a lot of bird life about. I did bring the floater gear with me, which is meant to get quite warm, but I don't think that will materialise, but we will see. But yeah, I'm really excited to get going on this one. Definitely a bit of me. So enough rabbiting on, enough of an intro. That's a good few minutes already. Let's get them rods sorted and see if we can find some spots. Going to go in with the tried and trusted solid bag. Now you know I absolutely love using these. From what I can tell from research prior to this session, this lake was dug out and tidied up a good sort of year or so ago, even though it looks really mature again already, from the islands and surrounding bank underneath the water. From what I understand, it was yeah, cleaned out, tidied up. All the sort of shrubbery around the islands and stuff was all tidied up because it all got cut back. So if you look on YouTube, you will notice a few videos that you can have a look at as well. So yeah, opening gambit, solid bags. I've got 3 different colours. When I've done a quick lap this morning just to get some b-roll and stuff like that, there was some weed in the edges as well, so I'm wondering if there's much out underneath the surface. But if there is, for the moment, for the first you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, whatever it may be, if I go in with little solid bags, I can just feel my way into the session, doing a walk around, asking a few people. Not much has been happening in the last 24 hours or so. A couple of fish have been out, but like I say, there's only 30 in here, so we'll have to try and just pick one off, to be honest. That's all I want to do, is try and get myself a bite. Solid bags allow me to do that without leaving masses of baiting behind, you know, filling it in and whatever else. So yeah, gone in with one of each of the colours, neutral yellow and pink, my standard go-to colours. They are the Hinders Seafood Dumbbell Wafters. I'll just trim them down a bit. They're a little bit too big for what I kind of like personally, but still in their own right, just as they are, they will work in solid bags. Great for wafter rigs as well. I just like to have a little bit of a smaller hook bait inside the bag. So yeah, 3 solid bags made up, barbless rigs inside, short 1/2 meter leaders, 2.5 ounce inline lead, and then crammed full of the Hinders mini pellet mix. Nice and tight and compact, not going to cast them. I can use my baiting spoon here as well, so I can get them nice and accurate if I need to tuck them up to the islands or tuck them in between little bits of weed. So whatever I find out there in a minute with my bushwhacker and deeper, then it'll allow me to sort of present my hook baits perfectly. So enough rabbiting on about them. You've seen them 1,000,001 times before. Let's get them tied onto the rods that are sat behind me, slip them out, and yeah, we can just sit back and take in this beautiful weather. Right, so as I can use 3 rods on this lake, I reckon because of the islands out in front, I reckon the margins are probably quite overlooked. Now down to my left, I've got this nice sort of overhanging tree canopy. Just want to gauge really how deep it is. Don't want to faff around with a spoon because shipping it in and out and whatever, it's just easy enough. Just grab one of my rods, quickly chucked on the lead onto the lead clip that I had already set up before I convert it over to a solid bag. I'm just going to have a little feel. Oh, that's rock hard, as I expected. I just wanted to make sure, because underneath this tree there is some weed on the surface, but it's obviously blown in because that is solid. But yeah, I just wanted to have a feel really for the drop. Make sure it's nice and clean, see how deep it is roughly, you know, without flicking the lead down, trying to catch any branches, any of that business. Slide the bushwhacker in and out just for the sake of being able to come and hold on to this tree. I can just drop the lead around, not causing any plops, any disturbance, getting a feel for it, and it's just, yeah, rock hard basically. So now I know that it's nice and clean. If I just lower the lead down to where I want it to go, where I'm going to probably drop a bag roughly, so about there. If I reel in probably about so much and then lower it back down, yeah, it's a good, I don't know, 3 foot easy down there. So it's that deep basically from the rod tip to the lead. Absolutely rock hard. I can bait it by hand and I know that it is fishing absolutely bang on. And if any fish get in and around from this corner bay round to my left and come round into my water, it's going to be a nice solid bag and some pellets sprayed down there, which will hopefully be just out of reach of maybe those swans. I might have to do it on the sly, but that is, yeah, one of the rods sorted already. It's coming up to around 3 p.m. Nothing has materialised. I've had the left hand rod in and I've had the floater rod out, believe it or not, but the bird life and the wind is just practically making it impossible to try and nick one off the top, in all honesty. They are out there, but they're kind of just beyond my boundary of water and in the flat water, whereas at the moment it's just pushing through these islands right into my face and just swinging around to the left. So it's making trying to keep the controller in position really hard. You know, it blows out of position, then the fish appear and flick it out where they are, and the fish have moved off. It's just, yeah, making it impossible to try and make something happen. And the birds are a pain in the backside because they're trying to nick just the single hook bait that I've put out there, because there'd be absolutely no chance of getting any bait out there, in all honesty, and that would just probably make it even more of a disaster than it currently is. But I'm going to give the rods another half an hour, just because one just boshed out right in front of me, so if there is one or two in the area, then we'll just give it half an hour. Need to pop back to the car, grab the cob, ready for tonight's dinner, and hopefully the sun just kind of making its way through the trees will, yeah, give me a little bit of the sunshine today, because I think I've got the windiest and the shadiest swim on the lake, hence why I've still got my jacket on, even though it's just a lightweight jacket. It was definitely needed, because yeah, I've got to see none of that sunshine today. So yeah, let's wait and see. Hopefully this wind dies down and then I have quite a clear evening, and I might be able to chuck the floater rod back out again and maybe see if I can nick one then. But this wind is just making it practically impossible to try and control the controller float. with it blowing from sort of into my face and right to left. So yeah, we'll persevere and we'll see how it happens, but nothing to report at the moment. Now while I was down in the car, I had a little think, and for the sort of longevity of the spots and for my fishing, I don't think solid bags were ideal for just sticking them out there this morning just to get fishing, seeing what's sort of occurring and happening. But I think for going into the afternoon, evening and night, I'm going to switch the solid bags up and just fish with bottom rigs, so slip D rigs such as this. So you may have seen these in my videos before when I'm using sort of wafters that where I don't want to fish a solid bag. Now slip D is my go-to choice when I want to fish on the bottom but still fish a you know, wafter or a snowman, that sort of thing. So this one I've got mounted to it a Hinders beetle and a sweet corn wafter. Now as you can see, I've trimmed round the edges with a pair of scissors just to make that a little bit smaller in size. The rig, the hook bait is mounted to the rig by a little mini ring swivel. It just pulls up inside the bait and then blobs it off with a lighter on top with some bait floss, so that isn't coming off, and it just slides up and down the shank of the hook when the fish suck it in and blow it out, which rams home the hook in the bottom lip. So I've always used this slip D rig for years and years and years now, where I can use a rig on the bottom and it's clean enough to present. So that's what I'm going to do on all 3 rods tonight. Stick 3 different colour hook baits out, 1 sticking down that margin, and 2 maybe just try and find some other spots, some other, have a little look around with the bushwhacker and just let the wind sort of drift it in, see what I can find. But yeah, the right hand spot hasn't had any bait eaten from what I can tell, because as I was putting the rigs together there were ducks diving on it, so clearly there was still bait down there from sort of 5-6 hours ago, which yeah, the ducks have nicely hoovered up for me. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But like I say, just for the longevity of fishing, not having to worry about redoing the solid bags and just leaving these traps in place, I think it's a wise move to stick to a sort of more fixed rig as such, something that's not going to need redoing every few hours, something that allows me to put a bait down there and leave it down there in confidence that it's fishing, and there's going to be bait and pellet and sort of broken boilie around it as well. So yeah, that's the plan of attack. Let's hope the tactical change works. Time to get these 3 mounted on the rods and yeah, get them out for the night. Lovely barbecue, a couple of burgers, bit of chicken, some salad, absolutely spot on. I did get rudely disturbed though by a bloody bunch of group of ducks that just absolutely annihilated my middle rod, so I had to have that one in and redo that. But yeah, otherwise everything is all good. 3 rods all set, got some tunes on in the background from a local festival of some sort, so yeah, some proper classics getting belted out just over the opposite side of the lake there. But yeah, all is good. So hopefully I'll be able to put a fish on the mat through the hours of darkness, maybe early morning, something like that, because they're just not interested through the day, which is to be expected with the kind of heat that we've had today. So maybe just as it cools off through the evening and night time, they might just yeah, get their heads down. They've been pretty active. They've been getting about quite a few botches today and stuff like that, so hopefully they burnt a bit of energy and they want to replenish So let's see what happens. But yeah, we'll leave it there for tonight, and then hopefully I'll have the camera out through dark for you with a nice fish on the mat. So let's see how it goes. Morning, a little after 7 AM, and I've had a bit of a lazy morning, in all honesty, not gonna lie. Woke up at sort of 4:30, nothing really happening. Went back off, drifted off till like 5:30, woke up, just stuck my head out, really had a little look, you know, crawled back in the bag, woke up again 6:30, just kind of, yeah, just watching over the water, really, not really doing much, and finally got my first coffee on the go. But it's a really uneventful night. It took me ages to drift off to sleep last night, because there's kind of obviously lights on the railway side there, and yeah, it was a bit strange, really. Not kind of used to that. Like I say, the feel on the outside of the perimeter of the lake is quite like urban park lakey type feel to it. So yeah, it was hard to try and drift off to sleep last night. But yeah, unfortunately nothing happened, nothing occurred. So I've got the rest of the day ahead of me. I'm going to pack down most of this lot, take it all back to the car, and literally try and stay mobile today. Been told as long as there's no other sort of bookings on the lake, if I want to go and move around a little bit I can, which is really good. So I might be able to try and make an opportunity happen, go and see if there's potentially some options elsewhere. But yeah, it's good to know, just because you book a peg on the lake, that you know, if it is quiet the following day, as long as you obviously get the permission, that you're able to go and do that sort of thing. So it's quite nice, you're not just stuck in your swim all day. So yeah, I'm just going to see what happens over the next couple of hours, see who's leaving, who's not, get some coffee down my neck, and yeah, we'll see what the day has in store for us, really. But I really do want to put a fish on the bank for this video, even though there's only like 40 carp in here. I want to try and catch myself one. So yeah, let's see if we can make it happen today. Well, then I found them, and they were on the opposite side of the lake. Now I'm in a swim called Pipe. Now all the fish are basically up this right hand side of the island. I've been stood over there on the margin. It kind of comes up, and there's like a little trodden path, and it's quite high up on the bank, and yeah, just looking down with the Polaroids on and stuff, and just visibly seeing them boshing out and everything like that. Yeah, I think this is as good of a starting point as any, to be quite honest. So got the bare essentials on the barrow, rods, bushwhacker, and yeah, I'm just going to slip 3 rods out, basically. Not going to overcomplicate things, just going to get it out there. I really want to give them a go on the surface, but I just tried flicking literally 2 or 3 mixers out discreetly, and the birds are just on them straight away. So it's either going to be just trying to, like I say, fish 2 rods on the deck, and maybe just flick a single mixer out on the controller. But yeah, it's proving troublesome with these bloody birds, because the fish are getting about and stuff. So they could have quite happily maybe sucked up a few mixers along the way, but I doubt that's going to happen. So let's get a couple of rods sorted, get them out, and then yeah, see if we can manage to nab one. look down there, 2 rods, because one rod is now lent up in the margin, absolutely gutted. So the one that was shipped over to this tree on the edge there has just gone spinning off, and yeah, lifted into it, and yeah, it's just bumped off. And I hate using barbless hooks. The slightest little bit of weed, you know, one strand of weed, and it could just quite easily pop the hook out. And yeah, that's what I've done. I've just reeled in 3, 4, 5 strands of weed, and the fish has got away. Absolutely gutted, mate. Like so gutted. The spool was spinning, mate, and literally lifted into it, felt a little bit of resistance, and then pop, gone. Oh, gutted. Oh, so gutted. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get that rod redone now, get it back over there. But I did say they were getting in and around those edges, so hopefully I can make amends and try and get my own back on them. Right, on the move again. Now I am in Back Bay, and all the majority of the fish that were down in that corner seem to have congregated and moved down into that corner. You can see an absolute load of fish on the surface, literally an underarm out. So I think I'm going to do what I did up there, really go one down the left and just a couple really close in, really short. This is roasting, so I am gonna wrap it up there. The rods are still obviously on the deck. I'm gonna just pack away the last of the bits. I need to pack away the bushwhacker and stuff. Finally had something to eat, which was much overdue, but yeah, I generally don't think anything is going to happen. As I say, it's just getting warmer and warmer, and the fish are just literally just cruising around on the surface, not interested in anything. So yeah, rather than prolong it, I generally don't think it's going to happen this session, apart from obviously that one that I did lose, unfortunately. So going to wrap it up there. If you've got this far, as always, thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. Nearly at 6,000 subscribers, in which I will do another giveaway. And as always, come and say hello on any of my social media as well. Always good to hear from you guys. But I'll definitely be back to this fishery. It's definitely a bit of me. Maybe when it just cools down a little bit. I'm not really a fan of summer fishing at the best of times anyway, in all honesty. But yeah, it's definitely one that's close enough to home that I can always come back to and yeah, have another go at. But there's just little pods of fish all getting around down here, nice little ghosty as well. But I can't spend all day watching these fish, so let's get the rest of this packed down, get off home, and I will catch up with you next time I am out on the bank.